So we'll be looking at bank reconciliation on Business Central. Bank reconciliation in Business Central. Basically, Business Central version 2021 introduced the bank reconciliation functionality and basically to ensure that company's bank account record matches statements from your bank. The process helps to identify any discrepancies that may issue from your financial data. So today we'll be looking at key elements of this bank reconciliation module in Business Central. So first off, we'll look at creating the bank statement format using assisted setup. When you go to your Business Central, you go to the setting module or the setting menu, you can find your assisted setup under your settings. When you click on it, you find your set up a bank statement file import format. Set up a bank statement file import format. For the sake of this class, I want to introduce to us how to build the bank statement file import format. Basically, first, you have to download your bank statement from the banking platform. But you must ensure to download the Excel file. Now you have the PDF, the Excel, but what we need is the Excel file. So we have a sample bank statement here. I'm going to open it right now. Now, when you download your bank statement from your bank using the Excel format, this is likely what you get. You get the posted date, the value date, description, credit, debit, and your balances. Now, Business Central do not recognize credit and the debt entries of our own bank statement here in Nigeria. So what basically Business Central recognizes is the date, the description, and amount. Now, I'll teach us how we can get the column for amount. So basically what you do is you can come to the last column, which is the balance sheet, insert a new column. So we can call this amount. Okay. Now all debit entries on your bank statement are outgoing, money that goes out of the bank, while the credit is money that comes into your bank. Now we know that the ones that goes out of the bank are negative, while the ones that comes into your account are positive. So keeping that in mind, we can simply get our amount column using a simple formula. All you have to do is equals your credit minus your debit, right? So which means that all payments or all outgoing payments from your bank account are negative, while all incoming amounts are positive. So if you do a simple drop down or a simple drag, it automatically auto-populates the column for amount. Now you don't have to do any other thing. You don't have to touch the balances because the balances are correct. Now, one thing you must keep in mind also is that this becomes a formula column. So we might want to make it a non-formula column, So we will have to format it in such a way that it doesn't have any formula. So simply what I do is I can copy this column, paste it on that column, paste it 1 to 3. So it doesn't have any formula in it, right? So you can replace it, but there are other simpler ways you can do this by removing formulas so that it doesn't have formulas in it. But this is simply my method of doing it so that I don't have any formula on the column. You can clear this off and bring it back. Now, another thing that is very essential is the date column. If you notice, our bank statements sometimes have the posted date and the valid date. But the question is, what particular date would you like to keep? And that depends on your company's policy or your accounting policy. But ideally, the posted date is what we should be looking at, right? Business Central wants you to always format your date column in such a way that it mirrors your Business Central date. And this is what I want you to understand. And when you go to your Business Central, let's open another tab. So take for example, we go to cash management. They're going to show us something. Go to bank reconciliation, for example, or let's do bank reconciliation. Let's just go to a simple journal. It is cash receipt journal. Now, if you look at the date, right, it says type the date in the format MZYYYY, which means your month must be a single digit, your days must be a single digit, and your year must be, the full year. So, say for example, we want to check today's date. The month will be 9, not 09. The day will be 18th, of course, and the year will be 2023. If it, for example, today was supposed to be like 5th, for example, that would be 9, which is the month. The day would be 5, which is the day, not 05, and the year would be 2023. So you have to be very careful with the format. If you miss the format, then the data definition for Business Central will not work. You will have formatting. So you have to be very careful. I will go back to our Excel sheet now. Now, if you look at this posting date, the month is 03, while the date is 01 2023. This might not work with what we have on Business Central. So you have to format it in such a way that it mirrors what you have on Business Central. Now, I normally do not format Excel sheet at this point. I format it after I have saved the Excel sheet. So we'll go ahead to save it. Business Central requires you to save it as a CSV file. CSV file. So you come to the file, click save as, choose your saving destination, and you can call it bank statement 3, right? Um, you come to the save as type. It's very important you check, you find different formats. You have to look for the CSV format. Now this is the CSV format. It is called command delimited. You select it, then you save. The bank statement automatically is saved in a CSV file when you do that. Now, I want to open the bank statement again and format it the way Business Central is being programmed. Um, these are our two base columns, so you align them, right click, select format cell. Ideally, I will come to date, right, and look for the date pattern that matches what I want. But sometimes you won't find it. This one is the day, the month, and the year, and it's not full. So sometimes you find it difficult to have a proper formatting, a format for what you want to do. So what we recommend is that you go to custom, okay? Now, custom allows you to modify your date type the way you want it, the format you want it. Now, based on the Business Central format, you said we want the month, which is a single digit. The day, which is a single digit. Then the year is the full year. Now, you click on OK, and what happens? If you look at it, it's still not properly formatted. But what we want to do is to make sure that it is properly formatted. What the system is recognizing right now is that since the 12th calendar month, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 12, the system is recognizing the first numbers as the month. So it's recognizing first as January, third as March, 7 as July, 11 as November. That's not what we want, right? We want it to recognize the first number as the month. So you have to format it in. Very important. You keep formatting until you get what you want. Format cells, custom, already on TV. It's very essential that you format it to meet up with Business Central format. Okay. Now, you can see that the month now is at the front, the day, the middle, and the full year. So your bank statement is properly formatted now, so you can save and then go back to Business Central. Like I said at the beginning, you want to bring in your formatted bank statement so that the system recognizes the format of your bank statement at the beginning. So you go to settings, you go to assisted setup, you find set up a bank statement file import format. You can either search it or you scroll down to find it. Set up a bank statement file import format. Click on the link. So it asks if you want to download a sample bank statement file. No, we don't want to download. We want to bring in our own format. So what you do is you select next. So it asks you if you want to upload a bank statement file. Yes, we want to upload one. Select it. Then you bring in your bank statement file, which is this bank statement 3. Open. And it tells us that our bank statement file is successfully uploaded. Click next. Now, first thing it asks us is which of the header lines do we want to skip. We want to skip the first one, which clearly states the posted date, the value date, the description, credit, debit, amount, and balance. The reason is that Business Central cannot recognize those headers with the transaction when you want to carry out the bank reconciliation. So what it does is keeps the header to pick the details of the transaction. So the line we want to skip is 1. So you next. The column separator is comma. The line separator is CROLF, which is the default format for Business Central. So you select next. Now look at your Business Central, your bank statement file setup. You have the date column, the amount, and the description. These are the 3 essential columns that are needed for your bank statement import format. These are the 3 essential columns that you need for your bank statement import format. The date, your amount, and the description.
All right, Mustafa, Modupe has her hands raised. Modupe, do you have any question you want to ask at this point?
Yes. Can you explain amount column number? And before you get to this point, the last slide says column number 7. What does that mean?
Okay, I'll go back here, right? So what it means is that in your bank statement, the one you downloaded from your bank, right? Remember, we did not really make too much changes to it. The only thing we did was to create an additional column where we had to work on the amount. Now, if you calculate or if you count the number of columns in your bank statement, remember it's an Excel format. If you count it, it should be up to 7. Now let's go back to our Excel sheet and see that this is our Excel sheet that comes formatted. Now the first one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? We have the amount column that was added. Don't forget that. So we have the balance column, we have the amount column which was added, we have the debit, we have the credit, we have the distribution, we have the value gift, and the total date. All these together gives us 7 columns. Is that clear? Okay. I don't quite get what you were asking concerning the amount. What was your question again?
From my count here, it's that statement is 6 columns, and I'm having column count here 7.
Yes, and I said we added amount, a column called amount.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, fine. Thank you.
All right. You understand how we got to the amount column, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Um, Next, when you click on next, it takes you to the 3 essential columns that are needed for this format. We have the date, the amount column, and the description. Right? Now, at this point, you also look at the date critically. You can see that it mirrors the format we give. So we have the month, which is a single digit. We have the day, which is a single digit. And we have the year, which is a full year. Next, um, this is where you have to also be careful. Remember, this is the date format, but this doesn't mirror the date format because we have these in double digits. So you might want to remove one of these, right? Then your decimal separator should be dot. Dot. Because you might have a figure that is, say for example, 25.6. So your decimal separator should be dot. Next, now you can set the bank statement file format. If you want to, just click on this, print it out for you. How it looks like. Um, so click on that. In bank statement. So basically, that's how you prepare the format for your bank statement, your downloaded bank statement. Now, you want to bring in your bank statement into your bank card on Business Central so that you can effectively carry out your bank reconciliation. In that instance, what you do is 2 things. Either you go to cash management or you go to global.
Mustafa, there's a hand up again, Modupe.
Okay.
All right, Modupe, please go ahead.
Yes. Okay, so my question is during this setup,
Yes.
you know that when you were importing uploading this bank statement, it contained the transactions. So
Yes.
my question would be, must I first impute all the transactions in my sample statement, or I will just upload an empty file with those headings?
Okay. Um, Ideally, you don't need to bring in all the transactions. The format is just for the system to recognize that, okay, this is how your bank statement is supposed to be set up. You have the name, you have the amount, and you have the distribution, right? The proper bank statement that you will upload when you get your bank statement from your bank. Um, what you keep That's where you list all your transactions. The first part that I did, which is the assisted service, is just for you to mirror the way your bank statement is for the system to recognize it, right? But there's still a point where you have to bring in the proper bank statement into the system for a proper reconciliation. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, I know. I know. I will upload my
So
statements when I want
you won't
to.
have to do this every month in terms of coming to the assisted service or assisted setup, right? You do it once at the beginning, you do it. But
So,
subsequently,
my
hello?
question is: the first time I want to do it,
Yes.
do I need to include those transactions, or I should just
So you
upload
can
the
just take,
headings?
you can just take the heading, take two lines, and that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Um, Now you can either go to the global search and search for bank account, or you go to cash management, search for bank account. Now you under bank account you find all the banks. For this particular training, we'll be using the NPS, which is the bank instructor. Select it. Um, you scroll down to transfer. Now under transfer, you choose the bank statement format. Now I've worked on one before, which is the bank statement then. This is the one we did just now, which is the bank statement. They are the same thing. Just mirrored it again. You can select that if you want to. Okay. Um, Go back. So I repeat, under your bank account, under your cash management, select your bank account. Under your bank account, select your bank. Go to when your bank card is open, go to transfer. Under transfer, select your bank statement format. So you might want, if you have multiple banks, say 5, 6, 7, 8, you might want to do that for all of them. Select card, open it, go to transfer, and select your format. So that makes reconciliation easy for us. So when we go to reconciliation, under your cash management, you go to bank account reconciliation. And this is empty, so we want to start a new reconciliation. So select new. And you want to bring in particular bank account you want to do reconciliation for. For this particular training, we'll be doing reconciliation for NPS. Now, our posting date is going to be, because our bank statement is for March. Okay, so we'll pick the last date for March. Our balance statement is 591,800. That's the previous month, which is February. The balance is 591,800. That forms our opening balance. That forms our statement opening balance. So you always have to confirm. So if you do a previous reconciliation, the balance should be then you confirm also from your bank statement that the opening balance mirrors 591,800. So the balance here should also mirror what you have on your bank statement as your opening balance. And you also want to put in your statement ending balance, which is from the statement Excel we had. Let's give you a open so that we see. This is our balance. You can copy this. Bring it to business center. imported or you downloaded from your bank and it's formatted. Now you want to bring it into the business sector for reconciliation. So how do you do that? You come to the bank menu under the bank reconciliation card. Click on import bank statement. Right? Select the particular bank statement and open. Okay. Now you discover that your bank statement is imported automatically into business sector. Now, how do you start your reconciliation? Now, there are two ways you can reconcile your transactions from your bank statement to your cash book. Under matching, you can either match automatically or you match manually. I repeat, you can either match automatically or you match manually. Manually means that you take the first line, right, and match with transactions on the cash. So if you want to match this first one, we have payment credit card, which is 5,400. Now, when we come to the cash angle, we look for that amount, which is 5,400. So it means that this payment, which is on the bank statement, is also present in cash. So we click on match manually. And when you match it, you discover that the color of your text changes from black to green. Now, because of timing, Business Central introduced the match automatically. So when you have plethora of transactions, you don't have to do the manual job of having to match manually. So you can easily click on the match automatically and you pick out transactions that are present in the bank statement that are also in the cash. So when you click on this matches transaction automatically, first it tells us that we should pick a tolerance fee. Now, I remember the other time Mike was saying posting date and value date. Also, your company policies can be just the value date, while another company policies can be posting date or posted date. Now, the accountant can just pick a date, say for example on the 2nd of March, and that is when he got the transaction and he posted that particular transaction. But the transaction is proper effect on the bank statement on the 1st of March. But the transaction was posted in cash book on the 2nd of March. Sometimes you can find transactions that come 2 days after. Say for example, the transaction happened on the 2nd and on the bank statement happened on the 2nd and got an alert 2 days after and it was just posted on the 4th. In that instance, what do you do? This window is giving us the opportunity to give it a tolerance fee. So sometimes you can put one, you can put two, depending on what you think is best for you. For this particular training, let's just do this. So the tolerance is 2 days. Then you click on OK. So it tells us that there are lines in the statement that are already matched with the ledger entry. Do you want to override the two match? Okay. It's because of the first match which was the credit card as against the credit card on the cash. So click on yes. It matches everything automatically. So you can see that your second transaction, which is payment moto 3,000, matches your cash transaction for photo. Account transfer, go down 150,000 matches 150,000. All right. Now, there's something you have to look at for, which is very now all the transactions in your bank statement must be present also in your cash flow. Say for example, this is 29 SMS charge 235.5, but it is not on the cash flow. And if you search the cash flow thoroughly, you won't find that particular transaction. An SMS charge, which is the bank charge, it comes at any time, so you might keep it and not post it on your cash flow. Also, we have the final transaction, which is account maintenance. It's also not in the cash flow. Now, for bank reconciliation to be effectively done, all transactions in the bank statement must be in the cash flow. Now, ideally, what you would do is okay, now I've recognized or I've identified two transactions. Let me go to my journals and make this post. You don't have to go all the way to the journals to get and put them here on bank reconciliation card. All you need to do is to select the items that are present in your bank statement but not present in your cash flow. Like this, select more, select this. Then you come to the home menu, click on transfer to general journal. So it does the transfer for you. Transfer to general journal. Select the general journal template. In this case, we have outgoing, we have payment out of our bank account, so we have to select payment. Now we select particular batch, but we can select general. Then you click OK. Now you discover that your journal is automatically auto-populated. All you need to do is to select real account for those transactions. And the SMS charge, of course, will be charges. Look for GL code that are under charges or bank charges. So and select fees and charges. And also make sure that your payment code is also selected. And also check your balance account type, which is MBM. So this is fine. So we want to pull this transaction. Transaction is successful. So we'll go back. Now, if you look at it, those two transactions that initially were not matched have now been matched. Now you have the SMS charge at the account maintenance. Now when you go to the cash, you find them there also SMS charge and account maintenance. Now I deliberately brought these two transactions in on the first transaction, first of March. Why did I bring them in? Sometimes you discover that you post transactions on the last day of the month, and when you get your bank statement or you download your bank statement, you do not find those transactions as a cash, right? So in that instance, you don't delete these transactions, but they are not part of your bank reconciliation. I repeat, you do not delete the transactions, you treat them as they are, but they are not part of your bank reconciliation. So the system will recognize what is matched as your bank reconciliation. Like I said, every transaction on your bank statement is what is mirrored in your cash flow. So you are working from your bank statement into your cash flow, not from your cash flow to your bank. Now, we're done with the bank reconciliation. We want to post it. But before you post it, it's essential that you test the report. So there's an icon beside your post. You click on the icon, click on test report, and preview. If you can see my screen, you discover that there are no differences. Some of differences still for transactions that are in your bank statement as against your cash flow. Now, however, there are outstanding transactions that we are not posted because they are present in the cash flow, but they are not in the bank. They are outstanding bank transactions. But how do you know that your bank reconciliation is fine? There are no warnings here because if there are outstanding issues, there will be a warning notification here or a warning writing here on your screen. But if you look at it, there's some of difference in zero, which means that our bank reconciliation is fine. Okay, our bank reconciliation is fine, our balances are okay. All right, so we want to close this. So if you want to print, if you want to print your report, you can come here, print, or you want to send it to PDF, you can send it to PDF. Whatever you want to do, do it here. Now, after printing your report, you come to post and hit yes. Do you want to put the reconciliation? Yes. Now it tells us that the reconciliation was posted for bank account MBL statement number 9. The reconciliation was moved to bank account statement. So it's asking us if we want to open the bank account statement. Yes, we want to open it. We want to check it. And see I do. Now, this is our bank account statement. Ideally, if you're downloading a bank account statement, this is how it should also do. So your bank account statement that is downloaded should also mirror the bank account statement. Now, there's something important that Business Central is doing. Assuming in the process of doing your reconciliation, there was an omission, you omitted something from your bank statement that you want to add back into the bank statement. Business Central introduced what is called the undo button. This is undo button. What you do is that you click on the undo button and it takes you back to the reconciliation that you just posted. So it opens it back for you to make amendment and remove it again. So if you want to check that, you can simply click on the undo. They ask you, do you want to reverse the bank statement and automatically create a new bank reconciliation with the same information? Yes. So you discover it opens back the bank reconciliation for us again. Whatever lines that have been omitted, you can add it back and post it again. So also you can assuming you close the bank statement page and you want to find it, also you can find it here on the statement page under cash management, bank account statement, or you can go to the global search and click on and select or I think bank account statement. When you click on bank account statement, it takes you to all statements for bank reconciliation that you have done. This is the one you just can open it up. So you see your undo function is there. So whenever you want to make mistakes, you want to undo, you can always undo. So that's all for bank reconciliation. If we have questions,
Yes, I have question.
okay,
Okay, so during the matching process,
okay.
I want to ask that what are the matching criteria? Is it only date and amount or date, description, and amount?
Okay.
Then, okay, maybe you answer that one first before I move on.
So we can take the already finished transaction. So we just look at it. Now, sometimes look at this second transaction is saying payment motive. Now, what we have here is payment for motive well, right? Sometimes your cash book carries a proper description while your bank statement carries sometimes it can just be random numbers. So I mean bank reconciliation is about trying to match your transactions and say, okay, this payment came in, we don't know the customer, but it's an internal thing you have to do within yourself when you're doing your bank reconciliation. Look at the amount that came in, what is the amount, then you try and see here um, the amount is coming from who's giving the payment in, who is the customer who makes the payment and all. But if the bank statement carries a description that matches your cash fine and good, but if it carries um, random, numbers, alphabets, and all. The best thing sometimes is to match it as amount. So payment comes in on the 7th, but it's not carrying the proper description. If on my cash book I have the same payment on the 7th or on the 8th, and that's the same amount, it means that they match
Okay.
for all scenarios. But I'm just saying.
Okay, so can description also be a unique identifier? Because my concern is if it's only picking, if we have different description in both GL and statements and the same payment, the same amount comes in on the same date for different customers or for different transactions, how are we sure it's going to match correctly? Because the same transaction, oh sorry, same amount, same date, but different description in the statement, different description in the ledger. How is it going to match correctly? Thank you.
Um, for me, I considering how banks how intricate it is in terms of payment accounting, payment that goes out. I'll personally suggest, yeah, that for going forward for transactions, because I don't know how you come about posting transactions, but I believe it's as a result of alert, yes, right? And this alert comes with proper description. Sometimes it's going to don't come with it because I believe they come with reference. Those references should also be entered into the when you are making posting into uh, the application. Now, in scenarios where the description do not match what you have on cash, but the payment matches. I think you just have to do extra, what do you call it, extra findings to come to a resolution that this payment is. Because once you do an automatic matching, it's going to find, it looks at all the components of what you have on the system. It looks at the day, because you gave it a 1 day lag or 2 days lag, depending on the case. Look at the date, look at the description, if it flows at all. So if for example, what you have on card is Ascentree, for example, and the bank statement carries just Twitter, and the date matches almost, almost date matches, but the name is not full, the amount matches. It will always be big Twitter, for example, because if you look at the bank statement, it's more like matching something closer to what you have on the cash. I don't know if that's fine.
Okay, I just want to be sure that description is also can also be a matching criteria. That's
Yeah,
what I'm asking.
this one, yes, the matching.
Okay. All right. Thank you.